Hello and welcome to Lesson 36, page 250 and 251. This is the song titled Hot Potato Polka in our Level 1 book. And in this song, we're going to be focusing a lot on staccatos and accent marks as well. And there's actually some sections in the song where we're playing hands together. But before we get started in playing the song, I always like to know which fingers are on which notes for our piece. And remember, we look right at the beginning to find out that information. Let's actually start with the left hand in this song since it's the first one who plays. So for the left hand, I'll be worried about the bass clef. And I'm going to look under the first note and we see our first finger number 5 on the note F. F is a really easy note to remember on the bass clef. And the reason it's easy to remember is that it's the line that runs between the two dots on the bass clef. So the line that runs between the two dots on the bass clef is the F line. And so that's why it can be pretty easy to remember that note. So let's find finger number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going on the note F. And so that means finger 4 is on G, finger 3 is on A, finger 2 is actually going to be on the note B flat for this song. And the way that I know that is by looking ahead. There's actually a B flat here in measure 3. So we want B flat. And then C is in the right hand, so I'm just going to leave my left hand thumb off the piano. And I'm going to take my left hand off the piano quickly, and we're going to look at the right hand. Finger 1 is on C, or middle C, okay? So I'm going to put finger 1 on middle C. So let's put left hand back on F, G, A, B flat, and right hand finger 1 on C. Okay, I've got all my fingers on the piano. Oh, and let's talk about the right hand. Finger 2 on D, 3 on E, 4 on F, and 5 on G. But for this song, we're only going to need the notes C and D in the right hand. A lot more on the left hand in this song. Let's practice by playing the notes from left to right in our hand position, okay? So in left hand, finger 5, let's play an F. And now with finger 4, let's play a G. Finger 3, let's play an A. And finger 2, let's play a B flat. Good. Now let's move to finger 1 in the right hand and play a C. Finger 2 and play a D. And finger 3 and play an E. Finger 4, play an F. And 5, play a G. And remember, we won't need E, F, or G for the right hand, but we still decided to play it, okay? All right, now there's a pattern we need to identify in this song that repeats over and over again. So it's right here in the first two measures, F, G, A, C. And look, I can find that pattern here in measure 5 and measure 6. And I actually find that pattern in measure 9 and 10. I'll just go ahead and circle both those measures. And we find a very similar pattern, but kind of in reverse order. A couple new notes, though, so I think I'll just put a half circle around these. It's almost the same. In measure 13 and 14, there's some similarities. So let's learn what that pattern is. It's the note F, G, A, and C. Notice how I played those notes. The dots above these notes are called staccato marks. To play staccato means that the notes need to be separated, okay? So I like to think of a popcorn sound with staccato. Pop, 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 pop. You could also think about it like a tiptoe, if you're tiptoeing, right? Like a sneaky sort of a sound. So short, separated sounds for staccato, okay? And the pattern is F, G, A, C. Let's try and play the first two measures, F, G, A, C, slowly together. 1, 2, here we go. Staccato, F, G, A, C. F, G, A, C. Very good. Now that we've got that pattern, we've just figured out 2, 4, 6 measures of the song. 1 and 2, 5 and 6, 9 and 10. Okay, let's look at one more pattern while we're on the subject of our staccato measures in measure 13 and 14. For these notes, we're going to play C, B flat, A, and G. So C, B flat, A, G. Let's try that pattern twice in a row with our staccatos. 1, 2, here we go. C, C, B flat, A, G. C, B flat, A, G. Very good. Okay, we've played all our staccato patterns in our songs now. Now there's another type of pattern that happens in our song, which is playing hands together, okay? So in measure 3 and measure 4, we play the same thing twice. The left hand plays B flat. Let me take these circles away. The left hand plays B flat, A in measure 3. B flat, A. B flat, A in measure 4. This little mark right here is called an accent. To play an accent means to put emphasis on the note, and it's usually loud when we play an accent because we're hitting the key harder than the other keys. And when you hit a key harder on the piano, it gets louder, okay? And I always give the example of counting. If I say 1, 2, 3, 4, I said all those numbers the same way. But if I said, hey, I'm going to put an accent on beat 1, then I might count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 1 was louder, and I accented the 1. Okay? We're going to do the same thing here. And with measure 3, we played B flat, A for 2. We accented it. Now on the right hand, let's see what notes we need. We need D, D, C for 2. D, D, C for 2. Okay? Together, we can just practice playing one note at a time. Let's play B flat and D together. Together. Let's do it again. Together. And now let's try A and C, but let's hit it hard. Accent, A and C together. Again, accent, A and C together. Okay, so that section sounds like this. Together, together, accent for 2. Together, together, accent for 2. Just practice that on your own slowly. When you're playing hands together, it's best to do one hand at a time and then slowly put it together, maybe even one beat at a time like we talked about. Now, measures 3 and 4 are also the same as 11 and 12. So there's only a little bit more of the song for us to look at before we can try the whole thing. The first thing we can look at here is measure 7. Pretty simple. We have B flat for 2. What note is next? Hope you got it. It's an A for 2. What's next? Then a G for 2. And then we accent a C. C for 2. So that's B flat for 2, A for 2, G for 2, and C accented for 2. Okay, the last measure for us to review together is 15 and 16. 15, let's focus on the left hand only. F for 2, G for 2, and then back to F for 4 in measure 16. The right hand is just C for 2, C for 2, and C for 4. That sounds like this together. For 2, for 2, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. All right, we've reviewed every measure of Hot Potato Polka. I'm going to play the whole song, but before you play along with me, you might try it on your own a couple times and then come back to try it at a steady beat. Okay, I'm going to get my hands ready with my finger 5 on F. Don't forget about those staccatos and accents. And oh goodness, before we move on, I totally didn't mention at the beginning of our song, this mark right here. Do you know what mark that is? MF stands for mezzo forte. Mezzo forte means medium loud. And we call this a dynamic marking for how loud or soft we're supposed to play. Because it says mezzo forte at the beginning of the song, and it doesn't say any other sort of dynamic or how to play loud or soft anywhere else, that means they want us to play the whole song medium loud. Okay? All right. Now that we've talked about our mezzo forte mark, let's try the song. 1, 2, here we go. Measure 2. Together, together, accent for 2. Measure 5. Play staccato. Measure 7. For 2, for 2, for 2 accent, C for 2, measure 9. Measure 10. Together, together, accent for 2. Measure 13. 14. For 2, for 2, 2, 3, 4, and off. Great job on reviewing and playing Hot Potato Polka, and I'll see you on the next lesson.